Mo! It's Mo here, hanging out with Gareb Shamus of Ace Comic-Con. He's the co-founder, the CEO. He's just overall extraordinarily amazing. And we're gonna be talking to him for Let's Talk About It at Legal Pete's. Let's go inside and get some food. Here's the menu. You can order whatever you want.
Oh, great.
I typically go for tacos because it's Let's Talk About It.
Totally.
So just a little bit of background for everyone. Ace Comic-Con, it's a touring comic book convention that heavily focuses on A-list actors and celebrities coming through versus it being heavily focused on the exhibitors and comic and artist. Like, granted, you do have that, but like, what made you want to change the format of a typical comic book convention?
Well, when we got back into it with my brother, we wanted to build the largest global community of superhero fans.
Okay.
And so many people now love the superheroes through the movies and television, not just through comic books.
Yeah.
And it's become so popular all over the world, and we wanted everyone to feel comfortable, not just comic book fans to come in.
Right.
So instead of creating these conventions, we wanted to create an experience. And that's why we're going to these arenas. So it's not built around going aisle to aisle, it's more built around the celebrities and meeting a very curated group of artists and writers and exhibitors that we have there. They're all kind of handpicked for that particular experience.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so Gareb, we have our tacos now.
Yes.
What did you get?
I got a chicken taco with guacamole, but I got a wheat tortilla.
Yeah, wheat tortillas.
Yeah, which
You hardly ever see wheat tortillas.
yeah, I
anywhere,
was
so
very
it's dope that they
excited
have
when
that,
she said that that they had that.
So for me, I like to get the crispy fish taco. It's Baja style. They have all kinds of deliciousness on it. So let me squeeze a little lime on there.
Take a bite.
Let's take a bite. Cheers,
All right,
man.
cheers.
Cheers.
That's good.
You know, you mentioned that you do them at arenas and stadiums. Like, when I first heard the concept of Ace Comic-Con coming to a stadium, it was hard for me to imagine because I'm so used to the convention style. What makes an arena and a stadium much more beneficial than a comic convention?
So the first thing that we wanted to do is change the way people thought about it.
Right.
And the first thing you have to do is just change where it's going to be physically.
Yeah.
So if somebody's going to a convention or a convention center, they know they're going to a convention. But when you're going to an arena or a big theater or a large arena like that, you know you're going to a show, an experience. You've been there before. You've had some excitement. You know, you partied with your friends there or your family.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go in with that type of attitude.
Okay.
And then the second thing was, you know, everybody when it comes to conventions, they keep thinking, oh, we got to go big, 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 and we wanted to go boutique. You know, we wanted to do something that was really accessible to everybody, and also make sure that once you're in the building, you have access to everything.
Right.
A lot of times these conventions, they might have a room of a few thousand people, but a lot of thousands get left out when the panels. But when Tom Hiddleston is there on stage, everybody who has a ticket has access to it because they could sit in the arena to watch. Plus, we have the programming going on the Jumbotron.
Okay.
So no matter where you are in the arena, you could see that. And then because it's all closed caption within the arena, every screen that goes on in the arena is showing the programming. So you never really miss out on it. So if you want to go shopping, if you want to go get autographs, you want to get photo ops, you know, we have screens all over the place, so you're not going to miss any of the action.
Okay, cool. All right, let's take one more bite real quick.
Good, I was waiting.
Yeah, you're like, come on, I'm hungry. What made you want to evolve the traditional, you know, convention that you go to? I mean, you've been in the game for a really long time. We'll get to that question in a minute, but what made you want to evolve the way that you've done them before?
Well, I did take a break from the business for a bunch of years, and I knew I'd get back into it one day. I didn't know when, but I didn't want to do it unless I could change and pioneer that world again.
Right.
You know, when I first got into the business, superheroes and, you know, it was such a geek and nerd culture, but it was also very derogatory the way people felt about people who are geeks or nerds.
Right.
You know, it was like, it was actually, if you wanted to make fun of someone, you'd call them a geek or a nerd.
Totally.
And, you know, people like that now, that grew up now on comic books, have been accepted. And now when we wanted to do it, it was all about, about acceptance now, but now building community. So I felt like with today's tools, with social media and the celebrity status today in the movies and television world, when I came back, I wanted to do it where I could change that world again. And I didn't want to do it unless I could change the world. Just to do an incremental better job I wasn't interested in. It was like, how do we fundamentally change the world again? And these events have become, for people that didn't grow up on comic books, these types of events have become very intimidating for them to go to. Because they didn't grow up on comic books, but yet they love the characters. And we wanted to make something that they didn't feel intimidated, they felt comfortable coming to. And that's why even our events, the 4 events that we've run so far, have all been more than 50% women. Because we wanted to encourage, women and families to come.
Makes perfect sense. All right, more bites.
All right.
Because my mouth is watering now. What has kept you so motivated, so focused on creating the monster you have now?
To me, it's, I never look at the past. It's always the opportunities for the future.
Always looking ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
love that.
Every time, even with the magazines back in the day, every time the editors wanted to do a special, like a recap special or an anniversary issue, I'm like, let's just do something about the future or something new coming up if we're going to spend that energy on anything.
Yeah.
So to me, it's always about the future and always about how to engage more people. And now we live in a world where it's like every time some new tool comes out, whether it's social media, or at the time, you go from magazines to the internet, from events to now having, all kinds of social media and, mobile phones, and now the actors, instead of just being in a movie or television show that was just domestic, now it's global. I mean, so every time, we have access. So when I did the magazines, we were in 75 countries and dozens of languages. So I have friends all over the world. So now, all of a sudden, I constantly keep getting more access to the people that I grew up with all over the world that we can now provide that, this kind of whole community to.
It's amazing, the networking that you start from the beginning and then where it takes you years ahead.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Awesome. It's awesome. Well, Gareb, I appreciate you coming down. We're going to finish all of these tacos.
Oh, great.
So we're definitely going to be here. But I appreciate you for coming down and hanging out with me and talking about Ace Comic Con and the evolution of it and of your career as well. It's been super cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.